Thank you so much for being a part of STAT Group today. So we start with the questions directly. The first A320 P2F to be converted by ST Engineering is planned to be released in the second quarter of 2022. So I would like to know the current status of it and how close are you to be receiving the P2F?
The aircraft is ready, as a matter of fact, and we were in Singapore 2 weeks ago to see the aircraft. And the aircraft is looking fantastic. It's the first A320 in the world coming to India. So we have leased this aircraft to an Indian startup, a company called Pradhan Air Express, and they're going to be the launch customer for this new airline and also for this new aircraft. And we are also leasing a second Airbus A320 to them, which will be coming before Diwali. So we have some big plans in terms of leasing the aircrafts to Pradhan. And we're also hoping that next year, Pradhan will also take delivery of a further two A321 freighters.
Wow, so that will be probably the next year, is it?
That will be next year. So this year they will have two A320s and next year they will have two A321s.
I'm also interested to know a little about your cargo intentions with A320, A321. 330, 300 and also the A350 freighter.
Airbus has actually come up with very nice aircrafts after a very long time, and we've actually believed that as an airline we want to have a choice, and a choice not between the Boeing and Airbus but a choice with both. And we want to have a fleet of Boeing aircrafts and we want to have a fleet of Airbus aircraft. So we're very happy that Airbus has finally launched the A320 with us. And we are going to lease the aircraft to a company in India, like I've said before. The A320 and the A321 will only be operated by the airline in India, Pradhan Air Express, in 2022 and 2023. The Airbus A330-200, the Airbus A330-300 will actually be operating it between Africa, Middle East and Asia. So this is an aircraft that we will be operating in our network. And of course, this aircraft will also be operating on a code share with Pradhan Air Express. And this will also allow them to scale up their flights, because the A320 can only carry 21 tons. The A321 can carry 27 tons, but the A330-200 can carry 60 tons. And of course, the A330-300 can carry about 62 tons. And then we're also negotiating with Airbus on the possibility of acquiring some Airbus A350s. This will be post 2025.
And any particular cargo product that you are aiming at with these aircraft?
E-commerce. E-commerce is something that is the future of air cargo, and we believe that Pradhan to be very successful with the A320 and A321 for e-commerce cargo. They have a fantastic strategy, and because we're leasing the aircraft to them, we've actually seen that they are making some very big plans to transport e-commerce cargo to and within India.
So, which is the most popular cargo that you're handling in Kenya apart from flowers?
Yes, so perishables is a very large part of our business. We can transport a lot of perishables. One of the leading carriers for perishables. From Nairobi into the UK, we transport 500 tons of perishables every week. So that's a very large part. We also transport perishables to Dubai, especially flowers, vegetables and meat. In addition to perishables, we are also transporting a lot of food for the humanitarian sector. We are transporting a lot of vaccines. Vaccines is something that we have a moral responsibility in terms of transportation, because we have to give vaccines priority, because there are people in the destination who are waiting for the vaccine. So vaccines will always get priority over any other flights. But also when you look at not only vaccines, it's also pharma. And if you look at India, India is the largest supplier of pharma products into Africa. And we are so happy that with our collaboration with Air India, we're able to bring pharma from India into Nairobi, which is our hub. And then from Nairobi, we distribute it all over Africa. And we're hoping that in the future, we will also be able to fly our Boeing fleet into India and offer connectivity for Indian exports into Africa.
What is your opinion on the air cargo market? How does it look like in 2022?
It is a tough year because of the geopolitical situation in Ukraine and Russia, and also the high fuel price. And as you can actually see that the capacity has been a bit of a challenge, but in 2022, we're now seeing a situation where there is sufficient capacity to meet the demand. Rates are coming down, which is a very big relief for the shippers. And we believe that it's going to be a good year. But I still feel that 2021 was a better year. I just feel that the whole geopolitical situation between Ukraine, Russia is also dividing the world in terms of trade. Sanctions, as you're aware, is not good for business. And of course, sanctions are actually useful from a political point of view, but from a business point of view, it does affect, and there's no single winners in sanctions. The Russians are suffering, the Europeans are suffering, everybody is suffering. So I really feel that it is a reality. We have to be used to it, but we just hope that there will be some light at the end of the tunnel. But it's going to be a tough year. We're looking forward to it. But within this difficulties, there'll always be opportunities. And with us being in the air cargo sector, we always try and fish out the opportunities and make sure that we put in the capacity at the right time at the right place.
So how are you managing business with Ukraine-Russia war situation, and also there's a Shanghai lockdown happening, and there are many cities or many countries that are still recovering from the pandemic. So how are you recovering from all of this?
It's very tough because Africa is a very large importer of wheat from Ukraine, and Kenya also exports roses to Russia. So that entire trade has actually effectively come to a standstill. The situation is not very good from a fuel price point of view because fuel is still a very large part of our operating cost. So we're still seeing a situation where it's actually really affecting our flights in terms of operational efficiency, in terms of what we have to pay for fuel now. We're actually paying an additional $1,500 per hour just because of the fuel increase. So you can actually see what the effect of that is in a month. So definitely we are hoping that fuel prices can stabilize. We are requesting OPEC to please provide some level of stability in the fuel prices so that we can at least be able to bring down some of the high cost of air freight, because it's actually affecting every human being in the planet. And of course, we just have to make sure that this is a short-term situation and not something which is going to get into the medium and the long term.
I agree. So what do you think? Where will the rates get stabilized? How long is it going to take?
We're hoping that things should start getting better from September. There's, of course, a lot of negotiations, a lot of good intentions taking place behind the scenes. And we remain very optimistic that from September, we'll have some level of stability. And the timing is also very good because now we're already seeing a situation where there's nothing much happening until this period. And from September, we're expecting that things will start getting better.
And talking about sustainability, so what steps is Astral Aviation taking towards carbon emission and sustainability?
It's such a good question. We've just become the first airline to be a part of TIACA's Blue Sky initiative. And to be very honest, we've been a little bit late in the whole sustainability journey. And I accept responsibility for it because we didn't have a roadmap. We didn't have anybody to mentor us on how we can actually be able to have a sustainability plan. So by becoming a launch partner with the TIACA's Blue Sky initiative with Change Horizon, they will actually be able to give us the guidelines on how we can actually have a sustainability plan, a roadmap. Because sustainability is not something you can do in 1 month or 1 year. It's a long-term plan. And we're so grateful to TIACA that they've actually, they're going to show us a roadmap, and we will take the whole sustainability initiative very seriously because we will have somebody will actually be guiding us and actually giving us information on how we can scale up the sustainability initiative.
Also, the company joined hands with Tech Eagle in December. So what are your plans with that, and how is the collaboration going until far? When do we see the deployment?
Yes, it's a very young collaboration, and I must say I'm so impressed with Tech Eagle. It's one of the brightest bunch of entrepreneurs I've ever come across. Their technology is absolutely fantastic, and this is something that we want to actually bring the Tech Eagle technology into Africa. So we are learning a lot from their new technology. We have a team which is working with the Tech Eagle team, and very soon we will have the Tech Eagle drones also flying for some of our projects in Africa.
So what projects are these going to be?
These are mainly going to be in agriculture, mapping, delivery. We're looking at multiple applications, but we are learning from Tech Eagle. And what we are going to tell Tech Eagle is don't look at India alone. The world is bigger than India, and you must also bring your technology outside of India to other regions which can actually be able to use it to solve some of the day-to-day challenges that we have.
So this deployment is expected this year?
I believe it will be next year because Tech Eagle also is focusing on a greater penetration into India. But whatever they're doing, they're building up hours, they're building up experience. And that is so useful for us because when we bring Tech Eagle into East Africa, we'll actually be able to benefit from some of their experience. So this is so amazing that we're actually collaborating with such an innovative company. And we believe that it's going to be really great when Indian drones can actually be able to fly in Africa.
Also, there was this other company called Tillis Development in Nairobi you had collaborated with.
Yes.
So what is that all about?
Okay, so last week we had a fantastic initiative between our drones company in Kenya, Swoop Aero, which is our Australian partner, Skyports, which is our partner in the UK, and Tillis. Tillis is a real estate development which is approximately 30 kilometers away from Nairobi, and we've actually been doing a lot of our drone flights in the Tillis development, which is a very large scale commercial zone. So under this collaboration, Tillis has actually given us space in their industrial zone for us to actually test our drones. And this is a great collaboration. So we are now inviting companies like Tech Eagle, other tech startups, that if you want to test your drones in Africa, then we have the right place where you can be able to test your drones. And of course, it's all a part of research and development. A drone which can fly in India should be able to fly anywhere in the world. It should be able to fly in Iceland. It should be able to fly in Greenland. It should also be able to fly in the Sahara Desert. So this is where collaborations work very well.
Actually, globally, there are a lot of such companies that are preparing drones, for all kind of weather conditions. I think even India should start looking for that now.
We should have drones from India flying anywhere in the world. And this is something I'm so confident is going to happen. It's just a matter of testing it in different environments.
This is a general question. So in Africa, what is the drone industry status like? Are there any government regulations? Are you facing any hurdles with any collaborations or deployments? What is the drone industry like?
The industry is very young. A lot of countries have just recently developed drone regulations on a trial and error basis. And as time goes on, they're actually getting more and more drone companies. Some countries in Africa are doing very well in drone technology. You've got Malawi, which is doing very well. You've got the Democratic Republic of Congo. You've got Rwanda. You've got Kenya. You've got Ghana, which are doing so well. You've got South Africa also doing so well in drone technology. So I would say that drones are actually solving some of the infrastructure challenges in Africa. And a lot of African countries have accepted it. That these drones are not going anywhere. It's better for us to regulate it than to actually go against it. There are some countries which are not accepting drone regulations. So there's a lot of work going on with ICAO to actually help some of these countries to come up with drone regulations. And we see a situation that the use case will definitely drive a demand for drone technology to be regularized in Africa. So we also have a training academy, and we're also training students from other parts of Africa and giving them the opportunity of learn how to fly a drone responsibly, giving them a certificate which they can take to their country and show it to their civil aviation and actually get the validation.
I would like to know, why did you choose Tech Eagle to deploy commercialization in Africa? Like, is it that there are no drone companies in Africa as good as Tech Eagle, or is it too young for Africa to have such kind of drone companies yet?
Yes, absolutely. When you look at drones flying in Africa, you have a lot of drones from China. You have a lot of drones from Australia, for example, in the case of Swoop Aero, our partners. And we really believe that we need to have an Indian company which can actually be able to also fly their drones in the skies of Africa. Tech Eagle was one such company. There are also other very innovative companies that we will actually come across, but we really felt that for the beginning, let's start with Tech Eagle. And then as time goes on, we will actually also meet other companies which might also have a value proposition different from Tech Eagle. So there might be a drones company which might plant tree seeds, which maybe Tech Eagle might not be able to do. So this is an opportunity for us because the industry is so wide that if one has an expertise in cargo delivery, another might have an expertise in agriculture. So we want to work and collaborate with everybody.
I have one last question. So during the pandemic, worldwide, pharmaceuticals played a major role, and also vaccines, of course, being a major part. So do you have any particular pharma-related strategies or plans this year or in the following years with cargo?
Yes, as you're aware, we are transporting the Covishield vaccines in Africa on behalf of UNICEF and COVAX. And it's a great partnership for us to move vaccines from Mumbai into various points in Africa. There are two ways in which we do it. The first way is collaborating and moving these vaccines on Air India because the vaccine quantities are very small. So the smaller quantities can move on Air India on their Dreamliner from Ahmedabad and Delhi into Nairobi, and then from Nairobi we redistribute it to the rest of Africa. If the quantities are large, we would actually fly and collect the vaccines and deliver it to the last mile. It's all a matter of the volumes, and I think it's working very well at the moment. We're not seeing any delays in any of our vaccine shipments out of India, and vaccines take priority. But we also have other products like for pharma, and we're actually encouraging the pharma companies to actually use air freight more compared to ocean freight. And I really believe that air freight has a better value proposition and of course a shorter transit time. So for us, we see a very big focus on pharma. We have a special pharma product which is very popular, and we are seeing a lot of pharma companies in India who are actually choosing to work with us under a win-win situation. And now we have a new GSA in India, which is Zeal Global, and the pharma product that we will actually be having and the rest will actually be promoted and marketed by Zeal Global and their team.
So I'm done with my questions. Do you want to add anything, any collaborations, any plans that I have missed to ask you would like to share?
I think we've covered everything.
covered.
From the 1st of June. We've appointed Zeal Global as our GSA in India, and we're looking forward to them representing Astral Aviation in India.
Thank you so much.
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you.